This week, I had a really great conversation with Vivian Glyck, who is the founder of Just Like My Child Foundation, and is now starting up a program called GRIT, and it's all surrounding mental health for adolescents and how to support your adolescents with their mental health struggles. But that wasn't the main reason we talked. The main reason we talked was when her son was going through a mental health crisis, she was helping him. She was doing whatever she could. She researched the hell out of everything. Probably could have got a degree in social working, but she was doing that for the love of a child, and she became a caretaker for the person. And it really took a toll on her, and that's why I wanted to have this conversation. Just because people seem to forget about the caretakers. None of it's only a physical ailment, a disease element. You know, even right now, it's tougher to watch a loved one suffer a mental health crisis, because at least with a broken arm, you can see if there's a disease, you can see the effects, but you don't see the effects, and it's harder to cure or help. And it's a big struggle, and it takes a toll on the caretaker's mental health as well. And what she discovered was to me, this is a big thing for her to figure out, was she was actually overparenting. And that was hindering her son's growth. And not only the growth, but also his ability to be able to help himself overcome his mental health challenges. Okay, so her message is actually, their biggest lesson was, once she figured out she needed to get out of his way for him to grow, that was really a big aha for her. It was tough to do as a mother, she said, but at the same time, it was relieving to her. Her stress level went down, but at the same time, overparenting does hinder a child's growth, especially when they're challenging or struggling through a mental health crisis. So the other thing she discussed was setting up of boundaries for herself, what she will do, what she won't do. And same thing with her son, is when they will be able to talk and help each other. And by having those boundaries, she was now able to see an improvement in her son, but also now to start focusing on her recovery, because that took a big toll on her. And she didn't realize it was affecting her mental health as well, very aggressively. And her wanting to share that system or share that insight with everyone else was very important. Okay, so some of the mental health misconceptions that we talked. So mental health challenges are often misunderstood. They have a choice to be sad. They have a choice to be anxious. They have a choice. No, they don't. Sometimes they don't. Maybe it's the situation that got them to there. But once they're in that mental health crisis, you do not understand what they're going through. You do not know what to say to help them out. All you can do is be there when they need you and to be supportive. Don't tell them what to do. Don't tell them what you think. I'm speaking also from my experience. A lot of times those people don't know what the hell's going on. So having a bunch of people tell them what they should do is not helping. It's all done with the right intentions. I'm not criticizing people's wanting to help, but in the end, the execution is not helpful. And just be clear, mental health issues are not a choice by that person. They did not choose to be miserable. They did not choose to be anxious. They did not choose to have emotional dysregulation. Something happened in the past that the brain is now overprotecting and just can't figure it out, and is creating maladaptive practices and maladaptive behaviors to protect them. And a lot of times we forget we don't even know what the hell the brain's protecting, because it's so far buried deep from our past. So it's very invisible in nature, mental health struggles. Like, I talked to Mark Fujiwara on the podcast a long time ago. Like he said, depressed people are really good at playing happy. Anxious people are really great at looking calm. A lot of angry people are good at looking happy as well. We have people mask these because they don't want to be judged. So we cannot judge a book by its cover in this. All we can do is ask questions and be there supportive and just try to be there to listen and to be there when asked for help. Opinions and recommendations is very tough unless you've gone through the same thing and you can share that. But at the end, most times people just want to be heard and validated that what they're feeling is valid and okay. And it's okay to feel like shit. It's okay to feel anxious. Yet at the same time, we got to figure out methods and systems to get out of it. And so that we can be happy and not have to deal with all these mental health challenges. So I'd recommend you listen to this podcast again with Vivian, because there's a lot of great insights there. I really enjoyed talking with her about this. And when we have ADHD, I hate that term. When the ADHD brain or the autistic brain has mental health issues or challenges, it even gets a little more challenging. ADHD, the emotional dysregulation, is not well maintained. Things feel a lot more intense and quickly. And it's hard to manage, even the autistic brain. Now, the autistic brain also is searching for predictability and consistency, and if that's not happening, then the emotional dysregulation goes overboard as well. So having a neurodivergent brain adds a different layer of complexities to your mental health issues. Now, is it because you have ADHD or autism that you have mental health issues? No, I don't think so. The ADHD brain, autistic brain, or whatever other neurodivergent brain you have, that is not why we have mental issues. It's the environment around us, the negativity. That is usually the cause of the mental health issue. Just because of ADHD or an autism doesn't mean you will have mental health issues. We're more prone to it, but it has to do with our environment. But to finish this off, what I want to do is, I'm doing this a little bit differently because Vivian is on a new journey. She's on a mission now, and I want to share some of her initiatives in this. And I think this is very fantastic. So she's developing a program called Project Grit, and she's looking for funders to help her raise some funds so she can help build resilience in children and adolescents, because those kids, they need to have these skills to become as adults. The way the little bit of their upbringing, COVID didn't help with building resilience, but that has to be taught. That has to be explained. They need to experience stuff to build resilience. You can't teach it. So we got to help kids get out of tough situations so they can build that resilience. So it's called Project Grit. I'm going to have all this information in the show notes. She's also starting the Bad Mom podcast, and where she wants to create a community and resource for parents to help with their adolescent children with mental health issues and challenges. And then also to create a community of that mental health caretaker, like the person that's taking care of these kids at home. It's very tough on the parents to watch your kids in pain. And she felt alone. She didn't want to feel alone. So she's going to create a community for this. And it's called the Bad Mom Podcast, and that's coming out soon. And her goal with this podcast is also to interview experts like Jonathan Haidt, Tristan Harris, and then also develop an advocacy for legislation to protect the young kids and young minds from technology's negative impacts. We all know it. We kind of refuse to talk about, but it's true. Just because the way the social dynamics of the world are changing to be more technology and more on the phone, the kids don't want to talk to each other. They'd rather text. That's having a negative impact. And that's why she wants to help become an advocacy group for legislation to help kids. And I'm not just talking for her to do this in the United States or Canada. She's looking to do this worldwide. So if you can look down in the show notes, click on her project links. If you're able to donate for these causes, that'd be great. Mental health is not something to toy with. It's a very difficult thing for both the person suffering the mental health condition and the caretaker trying to make their life happier and easier to deal with. It's hard on both. Both sides have to be supported, and that's with boundaries and understanding. But her big message was when she realized her son started to grow and learn how to handle his mental health issues was when she got out of the way, because that gave him room to breathe, gave him room to explore, and for him to grow and deal with his own mental health condition. So please send me an email at andretheimpulsivethinker.com if you'd like an introduction to Vivian so you can help her with her mental health initiatives. So thanks again for listening and learning with me. And let's get this mental health shit under control. We got to talk about it more and actually do something about it. So thanks again for listening. We'll talk to you soon.